add it later. Going?
Mm-hmm.
We're going. Okay. We are XFL Noobs. I am Terry Flip.
And I'm Ariana Lee.
And we are on week 3 of the XFL.
Mm-hmm.
Us noobs, we know nothing about football. So we are learning football by watching the XFL.
Yep.
And we're watching it as a couple, right? We just got married in July. July of 2019. So, this is great. We're both, we love to learn.
Yep.
So we both, we are having a lot of fun learning this. So, anyway, we are at week 3. Ariana Lee.
Yep.
How do you like it so far? It's Saturday. We haven't really caught any of the games tomorrow because it's not happening yet, obviously.
Yeah, today we watched Renegades versus Seattle.
Was it Renegades? Yeah, Dallas and Seattle.
Yeah. Renegades versus Seattle. We missed the game this morning because we slept in, but we did
really
watch
tired.
the highlights and it looked like it would have been
That
awesome.
was actually surprising. Yeah, I really wish we caught. I mean, it was almost like we wrote it off too early, and we feel bad because Tampa Bay has so many things going against them for what we know so far, right? Again, we're not football experts at all. Really, this is just us showing that we can strengthen a relationship watching football.
Yeah, it's something fun to do, and I it gives us a reason to sit and chill and be together, analyze what we don't know,
go through the ups and downs of a football game. And that's the thing, is we were expecting no ups and downs. Oh, another reason why is because of Joe Uke. Their family are huge Niners fans. And anytime we get a chance to link up with our Sacramento connection, we'll do it. We just love them so much. They're an amazing family that I've got, and we love them. We love them so much. So, Joe Uke, if you're catching this, we love you. We love the whole fam and Sac. Anyway, so the problem is we wrote off the Vipers so quickly.
We did, and the color of their uniforms doesn't help.
No, no. I think, you know what? Sometimes I think it's such an obvious ploy that they're trying to get sponsored by Sprite. You know what I mean? It's just like, no.
Yeah.
No. So, okay, so you saw the highlights of the Houston Tampa Bay game. What do you think?
It looked like there was a lot more movement than what we saw in the Seattle Renegades game. There was just a lot of running and touchdowns. And
You mean Dallas? Seattle, Dallas.
What did I say?
Seattle Renegades.
Oh, sorry. Seattle versus the Renegades, but I should have said
or
Seattle
the Dragons versus the Renegades.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which we have in the background here.
It's easier for me to remember the logos versus the cities.
Sure, well, that's the point of a logo.
Yeah.
It's branding. So yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Nothing.
That's because we like the Renegades logo, but we'll talk about that in a second.
Nothing super sticks out for me today from the game we watched. There wasn't anything really mind blowing.
The thing that I can remember are the picks. Right. So you just learned what a pick was.
Yes. I forgot.
You know what a pick is.
When you throw it and you catch it.
When the other team catches it.
When the other team catches it.
It's an interception.
Okay. So when they say pick 6, that's an interception and a touchdown.
That's right. Right afterwards.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep. If Dallas was first down, second down, third, whatever, and they throw and some guy from Seattle catches it, right? That's a pick.
Yeah.
And then if the guy who picked off the throw runs towards the Seattle end zone, 6.
That makes sense.
Yep. So I'd say the picks, I don't know. It wasn't really a lot of them, but I think that was the only exciting thing that happened in the Dallas-Seattle game.
Yeah.
And I think the Renegades had their quarterback come back from, I think he was injured.
Oh.
Something like that, right? So, that being said, here is the standings right now. The Roughnecks are 3-0, of course. Everyone had slated Dallas to be the team to to be super strong and take it to the very end. It's still early. We still have another 7 weeks to go.
Mhm.
But Houston and DC look like the strongest teams out there. So,
We're gonna watch. Who are we watching tomorrow? DC tomorrow, right?
yes.
DC versus LA.
It's right there.
Right.
Boom. So yeah, that right there, again, it's one of those games I think it might be a big blowout. But then when we watched the Vipers and the Roughnecks, it wasn't.
Hmm.
It wasn't. I think it was a lot of really bad mistakes on the Vipers, but they offensively have generated a lot more.
Right.
We were noticing the highlights that they were actually like holding it down pretty well. Like their defense obviously, needs to sort of step up a little bit from what I've seen. I mean, I could be wrong. We're just watching highlights and we know very little about football, but we're noticing in the highlights that we saw that they were taking a lot more risks. And that Flowers guy.
Yeah, we keep seeing his name.
Quentin
all
Flowers.
The time.
Yeah. Geez, like it's like that guy's a secret weapon.
Yeah.
I think they should use him a lot more. Another thing I want to talk about with the Vipers is that when I went to Ticketmaster to see what tickets were on sale, it kind of looked like there were big chunks of spots missing.
Oh.
But when I was looking at, they're really tricky the way they film it, right? They have to hide the fact that there's not the upper bowl being sold.
Yeah. They have to hide the audience.
Yeah.
Make it look full. Yeah.
But in the actual, the shots, when we look at the highlights, it actually look pretty full.
Yeah.
And there are ways to make the audience sound loud too. And, because we've worked in audio, we're audio professionals. We're at the video game industry.
Mm-hmm.
And we worked at the video game company. There were ways to do it without having to add tracks. It's really hard to do that. To just sort of add tracks
while still making it sound natural.
I mean, there's ways to do it as time goes on. I mean, you could just record from other games and such, right? It's just mics. Because when we went to the Seattle game, it was a exhibition game, I think, right? We went to that Seattle game. It was weird for us because we've always watched anything sport related, like in the Olympics or if there was a hockey game on, we'd watch it with
commentators.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
So, what else did you learn today?
We kind of ran through like the scenarios of when kicks happen.
Yeah, because
I was just like trying to remember everything.
Because there's less kicking in this.
There's less kicking, right? Yeah, because of that point situation at the end, right? The 1, 2, or 3 points versus a kick.
Yeah, the PAT. Point after a touchdown. And that's the thing is you watched the Super Bowl this year.
I did.
And you watched how okay, so they're anticipating that when they take off the PAT, and the reason why they've done that is because it's kind of it's going to happen. You're going to get the point. It's kind of just a given. The chances of someone missing it are very low unless you're
in
Corey
the
Parkey.
NFL, you mean kicking?
Yeah, sorry, I didn't clarify that. Yeah, in the NFL, right? It's that 1 point's almost a given.
Right.
So if that's the case, in the XFL, it's not a given.
No.
And I thought that would make it a lot more exciting.
Yeah.
I thought that when it's like now you got to generate like a ton of offense. So it's that, and that's the reason why I'm noticing that teams aren't really using the 1 point.
No, we've only seen like 2s, right?
2 or more, 2 and 3s, right?
Yeah.
Because it just makes more sense.
Right.
Like I don't again, we've never played football, but I wonder if it's like a big deal when you start that many yards away.
Yeah.
Like what's the diminishing return, right? So now we're looking at,
Yeah. It must just be really hard to get that 1 point. For whatever reason, or they're just like, there's no point in 1. We might as well go for
the risk reward, right? Yeah. It is tough to get that 1 point because we saw how often they held them. It was the Dallas defense just held it down. It was impossible to create a hole. Like you have to run to the side and
there's just not enough space, right? Not enough space when you're so close.
That's what we noticed. Yeah, we noticed that when you get that close, it was just like you're playing in a compressed area. It's kind of like dodgeball when you start.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So that's cool.
Yeah.
So tomorrow, we see what time should they start at. Okay, so the Guardians game is first. St. Louis and New York.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Ta'amu in St. Louis. You know what? Honestly, I love the Battlehawks. I want to like them even more, but as a noob, it just seems like the games are slow.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It just seems like they're slow.
Is that the one where when we watched it, we were just like, oh, they're very defensive, and so it was moving slower? Is that why?
Yeah, I think so. I think that was the Seattle St. Louis game.
Mm.
Yeah, it was like a low scoring game,
Mm-hmm.
right? They weren't generating a lot of offense, but I mean that's the strategy, right? Defense wins games. So we'll see about this New York St. Louis game tomorrow. If we end up watching it, if we don't, we're gonna definitely catch the Defenders and the Wildcats. Again, I hope that the Defenders Wildcats game is gonna be very close,
Mm-hmm.
just because I think it's good for the league. I hope the XFL goes past the 3 years that Vince McMahon has decided to put into the league. So yeah, okay. So week 3, still halfway through. We'll get another video regarding the next 2 games tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then we'll go from there. So we'll see you either tomorrow or sometime next week.
Okay.
I'm Terry Flip.
And I'm Mariana Lee.
Please subscribe and like. Thanks.
Bye.